Banana slam. Jam.
Have I coached you on Lesh before?
Yeah, you told me to stop running places before I get items, get your bots, and then do things. Pretty much, you said if you own your lane, just get like a 9-minute bots, and then go fuck the other people. I think was like literally what
The
you
exact word, the verbatim. I got
said.
you.
Yeah, that sounds pretty much like something.
So that was definitely last patch. I'm not saying that you don't go bots this patch, but I think in general right now, I don't think bots on Lesh are particularly good. I think because of how much you can control mid, that rather than being everywhere, you can actually just farm everything and get all the runes and then just like be full health, full mana at all times. Going like mana boots into like Yule's like Kaya Bloodstone, you know what I mean? Like you can just be super fucking farmed. I think last patch the map was just a bit different in terms of how mid laners operated. There just wasn't as much to do in the mid lane, I think, last patch. So being able to get what you got out of mid lane and then leave was like the optimal play. That's what it seemed like to me. You know, I'm kind of just theory crafting out loud right now. But for me right now, it just feels like there's so much to get out of the middle of the map that I would rather be topped off in the middle of the map rather than be ready to leave it. That's kind of what I've felt. Just something to consider. What that means exactly, you know, if you go bots, it ain't gonna be fucking game losing, but
Yeah.
it's just something to consider. So, I mean, sometimes it can be, but you know, most of the time not. Okay, playing it out. Took stun. You're against a tiny. Oh, I thought it was gonna be co-op. Okay. This is a situation. What is Tiny gonna do right here?
He's just gonna drag his wave and like try to get the range chest with Avalanche.
Okay. So you can tell me with 100% certainty that he's gonna aggro you right now.
Yeah.
So what's that entail? It entails him walking within 500 range of these 3 creeps, and then walking backwards like this, right?
Oh, you want me to lightning him so that when he's got creeps on him?
Nah, dude. How often do you abuse the 3-second buffer of creeps aggroing you?
I see what. Okay. It's not like every game, but there are some times where like in trade heavy matchups where I'm like, okay, like I want to trade with this guy, but I don't want creeps. So I aggro and like quickly get them off me on my melees and then go at them. But it's not often.
That's not what I mean, by the way.
Oh, okay.
I mean, somewhat. But are you aware that you can A-click him from, like, over here? And
Yeah,
then
and then
walk
walk
up
at
and have
him.
3
Yeah.
seconds to hit him, right?
Uh-huh.
So that entails, like, never aggroing these creeps in the first place.
Okay, I
Like,
don't ever do that mid.
yeah,
No, I do it like when I get roll queued support.
I haven't seen
But-
this yet, but so that's why I asked. So this is a perfect scenario where, as a ranged hero versus a melee, this guy has to walk up to here. He literally has to, because he's going to aggro, right? He has to be within 500 range of these 3 creeps. So he has to aggro. But if you walk down here and hit him while he's doing it, you're taking like more damage than you're doing.
Yeah.
So you have to know that he's going to do that, and you have to know that that's going to happen. So you A-click him when you're right here.
Interesting.
And it's
I've never
something
actually done that
you
mid.
can do this regularly, meaning like at least 3 or 4 times a lane when you're ranged versus melee. Okay, like I actually do this. Like you know, I'm not tooting my own horn. I actually use this mechanic a lot because I got harped on for not even knowing it. So
It just makes so much sense why people can just click me for free.
dude, yes. When you are ranged versus melee, you can manipulate this a shit ton in your favor to like not like to actually just like SumaiL is amazing at this. That's the person that I realized because he does it, I have to learn it. Okay, like I would be in melee versus range, and he would literally click me like 25 times and take no fucking damage, and I'm just like, what? And I mean, I easily beat like rank 300 Zene and stuff with this shit, meaning like I crushed them in lane because of that kind of shit.
This is like lane changing. I've
Yeah,
never
yeah,
actually thought about doing this mid.
yeah. I mean, it's mostly range versus melee. Okay.
Yeah.
It happens sometimes, but it's mostly range versus melee. Okay. I just saw a rare opportunity there where I'm like, why didn't he hit that tiny? You know. But then I realized that you probably didn't want to tank creeps, and then I realized that there's a reason why you would have been tanking creeps. Okay, moving on. Yeah, you should practice like 1v1s with a friend, and what you should do...
I have a guy that I do 1v1.
Yeah, then yeah, it's good. So what you should do is you should tell him to pick Tiny, and you pick a hero like Lesh, and your entire goal is to play the lane where you walk out of creep aggro range and A-click him, and then walk back in and click him. Walk out of creep aggro range on that 3-second cooldown, really get a feel for it. And I don't even care if you're like, if you have to miss every fucking CS while you're doing it, okay? Like, I'm not telling you, like, in a real game, that's okay. But, it's like, if you watch SumaiL when he's Lesh, for instance, and he's against TA, he will abuse the living shit out of this, because he's played that matchup, like, 2 times recently. So, it's just like, you walk out of range, you walk back in, and he spends the entire 2 seconds that he's right next to the creeps fucking hitting you. It's always he's just clicking the shit out of him, gets like 4 attacks off, and then he backs off and does it again. And it's getting to... You can watch me. I don't do it nearly as much as SumaiL, but I still do it. So it's like, you learn it. Pretty quickly, if you're grinding it out, it kind of just becomes a part of your
it's just,
repertoire of stuff, yeah. It's hard to learn when you're in just a normal game of mid. I know all the best mid laners 1v1, so the fact that you have a partner already is good.
Yeah, it's actually funny. He says, I watched your video on BSJ. I wanted 1v1 with you.
Oh, that's funny.
It was really funny. I laughed when I read it, but...
Hey man, 1v1 partners are good. If you feel like you can like have somebody that you know will try it against you and be willing to experiment with some matchups and stuff, that shit will win you games and stuff. Okay, okay. The funny thing about this lane matchup is you're definitely doing worse than you should, because that skill is probably like 90% of what would win you the lane. All I would say about this lane is that the way I look at Lesh is that this is like your gauge of how much you want to run at the guy, but also how early you think you'll take towers. So this is just my, like... This is another thing that falls in the category of, you know, another player might do this differently than me, so I will tell you what I think rather than what I'm blanket statement as correct here, okay? Against Tiny, I don't really want to be right next to him because he'll Avatos combo me, so I would rather be, like, in range of dealing damage to him but not next to him. And then also around the time that I want to take his tower, him +1 will, like, always kill me. So, it's not a matchup that I want to necessarily confront him very often, but unless he's, like, point-blank range to me, he can't really do anything to me. And then also, like, once I get, like, an item or two, meaning, like, Raindrops, Wand, and Null, you know, something like that, he doesn't kill me anymore with the combo, or at least, like, you know, he does, like, half my health instead of 3/4. And, so I feel like I personally would have gone 2-0-3 here. And just focused on spamming him from, like, 500 range with spells and hitting him. Like, that's what I would have done. I just think that it's unlikely the success of this lane would be me diabolic eating him like you did. I don't think that's, like, that's the likely scenario to work. I just think that it's unlikely. I also want to try to take his tower super early, so I'm going to play for my pure farm game. And this just comes down to, I want you to know on Leshrac specifically, it's like, at what point do I feel comfortable walking up to this tower and pushing W? And against Tiny, I don't necessarily like it, because really all that hero can do to win is to kill you. That's really all he can do. He doesn't farm very fast. He doesn't, like, trade very well. He just, like, wears you down a bit with his tree sometimes and then combos you full to 0. Yeah, that's how he wins. So as a Lesh who would benefit so much more from just trading farm, and anytime you interact, like, a casual harass will benefit you way more than it does him. That's how I would gear up for this lane. That's just something to think about. Moving on here. So you buy the raindrops, you buy the null talisman, okay. Yeah, you probably kill him there if you had 203.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah. For certain.
And then you don't even want to walk up to the tower. Yeah, okay. So you're actually seeing how I feel about this play out.
Yeah.
So the beauty of the 203 is that you get to 6, and then you start going for W. So maybe that tower dies 30 seconds later, because it takes one extra version of this. But, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, that's why you don't go, like, 404, you know? But okay. You walk top. Be careful, Tiny's missing. Okay. I guess he's only level... No, he's level 7. Okay, so you're gonna run back mid. Yeah, I probably would have bought arcane boots here. Probably would have gone arcane boots. I probably would... because you're against Tiny SK, I would have been a huge fan of just fucking Sanj Kaya this game. I would have been a huge fan of Sanj Kaya and a Eternal Shroud. I think that'd be a fucking sick build this game. Go ahead.
Last time I did that, I got Omega Flamed by one of my friends. And
Dude, I think this specific game, because they have a bunch of burst and your team has a bunch of stuns, that would be a sick fucking build. Dude, SumaiL did that build like 3 days ago, so.
The time I did it, it felt so good, but like, you don't do anything, bro.
I mean, if your team can, like, what your team lacks right now is a guy that runs in. Yeah. That's what your team lacks right now. So, that's why this game, I think, it would be really fucking good. It'd be fucking sick, this game. Yeah, you could probably skip the mana boots in that case. You could probably just go,
Kaya.
probably go Kaya's. You could even maybe, yeah, probably Kaya first, since you had a good start. I would probably go like Cloak Kaya, something like that. Yeah, I don't like the bots here just because of this. It's like,
yeah,
I want you to just run at the opponent and be super tanky, survive their burst, and get better at that. Be able to tank more and more heroes. It's like at the start you could probably tank 2, and then if you get like the full Eternal Shroud, it'd be 3, you know, that kind of thing. That's how I would look at it. Similar idea where Troll's probably going to farm triangle, so you want to be able to be aggressive on the map. You don't really have somebody that runs in. So I already said that already, but I'll just say it again. So I think the way you're playing the map is correct, but you're doing it with bots rather than a Cloak and a Sanj, potentially. Obviously, you need some mana in there, but... So the deaths kind of hurt your start. Like, you had a good start, but then... this will show you that the items are wrong, whatever hero you're playing, if you have a really good start, and then you turn that into deaths. And I'll just tell you that sometimes it's because you built items and then you use the items incorrectly. Actually, I'll take that back. It's because you played the game correctly. Or, sorry. It's because you played the game incorrectly, okay? And you just, like, went to a wrong part of the map, TP'd stupidly, and died, okay? Sometimes it's when you're just playing the map correctly, which I think you are here, and you just don't have the right tools to do it, okay? Like, you're just trying to run at a fucking lone druid in his own jungle with bots. And it's just like, can't really do that. You know, like, you die. So, it's like in that case, if you had had a cloak and full wand and, you know, a little bit of extra oomph there, you could probably kill him and not die. So, or at least make it that much harder. Just something to think about. Okay. If you don't think you misplayed in terms of what you were doing aggression-wise, then it's probably items.
Okay.
Has to be one or the other. So I think with the items you got, you're doing what the best you can. I just think, like, after watching this game back, I will agree with the way your team, like, hey, let's smoke and let's do this and, you know, let's go fight them and stuff. And you're just doing it with bots and Akaya. So it's like, having a general sense of what that's going to look like If your team was 4-manning without you, and then you could show up, that's when you would buy bots. I'll just tell you that right now. If you have like a hero that wants to early hit buildings, and it's like some may say BSJ troll can hit buildings, and it's like against Sand King, Queen of Pain, Tiny Lich. No, he's not gonna hit any fucking buildings. You know, he's gonna die. So, you know, in certain games, troll might be that hero for you. So in that case, maybe bots would be nice. But in this case, you're the guy that's walking at buildings. Okay, like you understand that, right? Like you look at your lineup, you look at theirs. You're the only person that's gonna walk at buildings. So I need those items to reflect that you're walking at buildings. Like, that's what I need you to see. Okay. Okay. That's forwarding. Okay.
It's like the third time I've TP'd out.
Here's what I see. I look at the map right now, and I see one hero mid, one hero bottom, and one hero dead. So, how's your troll doing? What are you thinking about troll right now?
We click on his items.
I'm saying, like, on the map right now, how's he doing?
Oh, he's gonna clear this and maybe take the hard camp, then go triangle.
Okay, cool. And anything there that has to do with you?
Not really.
Dude, you're 1,000 gold off BKB. What's the dream right now? What are you thinking?
Oh, just eating the triangle?
What?
Oh.
I'm saying you have to get 1,000 gold, and you see Lone Druid at the triangle, you see Queen of Pain sitting at mid tier 2, and Lich is dead. The world is your oyster. What are you fucking doing?
Clear our bottom jungle,
so how would you get there?
Walk.
So I would say, even though your TP's on 7-second cooldown, that you're TPing bottom wave, the second that's up, and then you're just doing a quick run through, all the way back to base. Boom, BKB, boom, TP out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no one's there yet.
That's how I look at this. Why instead do we see 4 heroes on the opponent team all in like this circle again? 1,000 off of a BKB, and we're like, get him! You know? I'm literally like, dude, creep wave, camp, 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 base, BKB, boom, dead. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm thinking. Okay? This is kind of how Quakefoot taught me to think, okay? I'm not trying to, like, put words in his mouth or whatever, but basically every time you're going to a fight, it's like, could you have just hit a bunch of fucking creeps? It's like, could you have? Like, would that have felt good to just hit some fucking creeps right there? Based on your timings, based on map positioning, based on all that kind of stuff, right? Like, if they're getting farm where they are and you're getting the farm on the map that you're getting, is that good? And that's why I asked you, like, how's your troll doing right now? You know, and you're like, oh, he's going to farm this wave, then the camp. Like, you TPing bottom, my emphasis is, as a mid laner, you do have to consider your carry. You TPing bottom is not griefing your carry.
Yeah, it's not griefing because that's where he wants to play.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the beauty of this situation where I don't care necessarily how this fight goes. I would just rather clear 50 creeps and then go back to base and have a BKB and then do this. Whatever's happening here, that's what I would rather do. Go ahead.
I'm gonna be honest, I kind of just brainlessly saw my team there and just walked up. There was no thought put into that maneuver.
Now, I can relate to that. That's fine. And it's probably like a good, you know, thing to be willing to come clean on. You have to consistently gauge the map if you want to be higher than 6K, okay? Like, you need to consistently gauge how's the map looking, okay? And I would say I check this maybe every 10, 15 seconds. I would assume better players check it even more, okay? I would assume more. Like, they have a constant, ever-flowing understanding of the map, okay? The players that I feel like are a step ahead of me, I assume they think about this more than I do, okay? Like, but I would say for me, 10 or 15 seconds. I think about this stuff, okay? And it's not like a conscious thought. It's literally like, yeah, like you said, it's a feel. Like, how's the map feel right now? Okay, so, yeah, and if you're not feeling the map, that's when you just brainlessly walk in and join a fight that you shouldn't have joined, right? I will tell you, in my 9K average games, people still take dumb fights that have no business happening, okay? So, it doesn't end. This is a skill that is ever applying, or ever applicable. Ever applicable. You can do it forever. Okay, so... Notice how you, like, still don't have a BKB yet. It's like fucking 3 minutes later. So you, like, got this Aegis, and, okay, we farmed our BKB, that's fine. TP top, cool, cool, cool. Okay. Problem is, we have fucking Kaya BKB, so we're literally in like 2 seconds. Okay. The thing about this build is you're pretty much never TPing to lanes, okay? With this kind of build on Lesh. You're pretty much always walking somewhere, TPing home, and like walking and you're always, okay. Your pathing includes going base. Let's just clear that up, okay? Like, rather than saying you're not TPing to lanes. Like, your pathing is either TPing to a lane, farming it, and farming your way back home, or it's walking to a lane, walking out, and then TPing home and then walking out. Do you know how you determine whether or not you TP to the farm?
If I TP to the farm or if I TP to base after walking to it?
Yeah.
Depending on... I mean, like, with bottom, it's if me TPing there doesn't make me die, right? So, like, if I
No. I'll interrupt you. This time, when you TP'd bottom, you TP'd right here, and you farmed this way.
No, you were talking... when you were talking about me TPing bottom.
Yes.
When you wanted me to. When the wave is, like, where it was right now.
Over here?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like that situation is I TP there because it's like there's a time window where I can take that safely.
No. So the way I look at this, because I hear you, but I need you to actually understand.
Okay.
Just now you TP'd right here, like like 2 minutes ago or something, minute and a half. Your farming was then this, and then you TP to a fight top. It just doesn't work. If you're gonna TP to the bottom lane, it's because you TP'd to here and then farmed your way back to base and then TP out.
TP'd full. Okay.
So notice how when you TP this time, your farming pattern went out. When I wanted you to TP earlier, your farming pattern was going back. So it's actually a big deal. Like, this matters a lot. So it's like, if the lane's right here, you should almost always try to walk to it. Otherwise, like, I would clear this wave, and then I would clear this camp, this camp, this camp, go back to base. Like, I'm saying if you just absolutely have to TP to catch this shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, either way, you made your farming pattern go, like, back to base.
Yeah.
Because this is just like if you're playing Storm, if you're playing Lesh, if you're playing Puck, if you are having to buy bots but also don't have enough mana to farm and fight, your base farming pattern, like, your farming pattern has to include base. So, like, what happened here was you TP'd here, you farmed over here, you got your BKB, and then you TP'd here, right? And then you just have no mana. So, yeah. Really important. Something to think about with whatever it means for you in future games. This is bad too. You're staying on map with no mana. I've seen this in my games too. Don't think it's above these 8K players to do this. Okay. I actually remember I remember one NA game where I had a guy who had Lesh Aegis, and he literally for the entirety of the 5 minutes was not fight ready with mana. I actually could not fucking believe it.
I was saying, guys, I have no mana.
It's literally you. It's literally you right now. This happened to me. This was like a month or two ago. I still remember that shit. I was like, holy shit, I kept checking to, like, when's my Lesh with Aegis gonna be ready? And I just kept checking, and he was never fucking ready. At one point, I think I said, go get some freaking mana. God. Okay. Okay. Wow, that was a greedy BKB hold right there. Okay. Looks like that's it there. We got about 20 minutes left. Do you have another game?
I can pull another one, yeah.
Nobody's ever complained about my, like, monologuing or whatever about random games.
I don't think I have room to complain.
Hey,
I guess I do if I
You're
pay
paying.
for
You
something.
can
Oh,
complain.
you suck. You're the worst.
You could tell me I do my job shit and never come back. I'm actually waiting for that day. I haven't had that yet.
I don't think I'll do that.
There's like some sessions where I don't feel like the person got much out of it, and I feel like they could just tell me they didn't, and they never do. So
I'd like a refund, please.
I'll be honest. If you paid for an hour and a half of my time and I gave you an hour and a half, you ain't getting a fucking refund. If I like straight up think like I just did a shit job and there's nothing I could have done, then obviously, or like nothing to do with them, then I would be willing to give a refund. But I can safely say I've never openly done a shit job in a coaching session. Okay.
Good to hear.
Sometimes I just can't help. It feels like sometimes I can't reach them. Whether or not it's my fault or theirs. I tried though. Okay. Shitty lane matchup. You're trying to draw a lot of aggro.
Yeah.
I would say I would even consider like rushing a bottle even earlier in this lane. You don't really need that extra.
Yeah, I guess I don't need the stats because his right click is.
Yeah, his right click's pretty dog, right? So you don't really need it. I think like going straight boots as early as possible would be good too. So like by delaying your bottle, you're delaying your boots. By delaying your boots, you're giving him more static link damage. Yada yada yada.
Making him stronger for longer.
Yeah. That's probably mostly Razor specific in mid lane. I don't know if there's really any other hero that fits that.
Bat.
That was a nice move in terms of separating the creep waves. You just missed every CS because you suck.
Thank you, thank you. Oh, I'm pogging.
I feel like you didn't need to do that, but it's fine.
Oh, I missed one because I didn't drop it.
Oh. Yeah, I'm still watching on fast forward. You seem to remember this game pretty vividly.
I just remembered the link, so I was like, dude, that's the first time I ever dropped the quelling and it worked.
Nice, dude. Nice, nice, nice.
This was also like 2 days ago. So there it is.
Yeah, I think that's literally because you don't have a win list. That's why you died there.
Fair.
I actually don't have much else to say there. I think if you had straight boots win list, you would be fine there. I feel like mid lane's like so easy to regen. The only reason you need stats is because the other guy has like a good statted hero, and they'll just like out CS if you don't have them. But obviously Razor is like just not that hero. Razor's diving your team. Here's been my games the last fucking 3 days. It was my mid's fucking level 6 and theirs is level 7 killing everybody. This has been literally all my games. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay, pretty nice move to come back in the game here. So, I think I'm really surprised that you guys are like trying to fuck with a Razor. The way I look at Razor is like, he's like Viper, Necro. He's like obviously a bit faster than these guys, but anybody else? Maybe Visage. These heroes like individually are really strong. So usually they want to play up in your face. By the balance of Dota, if a Razor or a Necro or a Viper is just playing scared all game, playing in their own jungle and stuff, it's kind of just good for the opponent team. You know, like if I'm against a Viper and I never see him, it's like, okay, cool. That's good with me. I don't ever want to interact with that guy. So, like, if that's what they're doing, like, just fucking let them do it, dude. Like, I don't really know what else to say. It's like, if Razor's here. Like, let him be here. It's like a fucking razor. You know, do you know what I mean by that? It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah. You're not playing the hero at that point.
yeah, so, like, when you guys are mid posturing at like 9 minutes here.
You never say, guys, the razor's jungling.
Yeah, like, go get him. Like, I would push this wave. I see Razor coming in, ulted. Dude, just go fucking farm the small camp. Like, what are we lingering for? Like, what are you thinking is going to happen here? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just like this mindset of, like, I don't give a shit that this Razor's cleaning up the creep wave.
Yeah.
You're a fucking melee hero versus Razor, you know? Like, you're happy if this is what the dynamic of the lane looks like. The difference is that Razor's a hero that since he's meant to be aggressive, you have to always be ready to counterplay him, okay? Like, everyone on the team should be like, okay, this guy, we're letting him do his thing, but we're not letting him dive our tier ones with, like, you know,
yeah, I tell
impunity.
people that. Like, this guy's gonna dive me at X level or X time.
Yeah, and this is just the important shit that you're clearly not thinking about in the mid lane a lot, because you kind of consistently linger when, like, whatever situation in the mid lane, in my case, is like what I would deem okay. You know, you force the tide reaction, there's just 2 heroes sitting here, mid lane, Luna's around the area. You know, it's like, you're okay with this, you know? Let them have this. You know, they're dedicating 3 heroes and they're all at their tier 1. Or, like, somewhere near it. You know? It's like, Razor's underneath its tier 1? Okay. Cool. That's fine with me. Go hit some neutrals. Or, like, go gank somebody. You know? The last thing I want to do is, like, linger here. That's the last thing I want to do, is whatever this is. I know Pudge is, like... That's the thing, is this shit with, like, a teammate trying to posture is never going to end, man. It's never gonna end.
Yeah, he did. He was kind of saying, "Yo, go bait the Razor."
Dude, it's never gonna end, man. I need you to, like, ignore these guys and just be able to view the game through your own lens, okay? Like, people don't think. I'm telling you, this isn't like, you know, insulting the Dota community. The average Dota player doesn't fucking think. It's like, if you really think about it, do we actually care that there's a Razor underneath his own tier 1? Do we actually care? It's like, no, you don't care. You know, like, you don't fucking care. So if you don't care about that guy being underneath his tower, why are we trying to kill him? You know, like, I don't know. It's like, if I'm a Razor and a Void Spirit's able to single-handedly pull a creep wave off the tower and defend it, and my teammates are just letting it happen, I'd be a little upset about that. You know? I'd be like, what the hell? Guys, like, let's be aggressive. Dive the Void Spirit. Bully him out of here. We don't have to kill him. Just get him out of here. Make him astral step or something. So yeah. Okay. Surprised you're not using more mana. You have an Arcane Ring, and you have, you're going Orchid, so you're going, like, a very mana intensive build with a mana intensive neutral item, and you're just, like, right-clicking the creeps. It's a little weird champ there. Dude, why are we just right-clicking creeps? What the fuck? Why are you just right-clicking them?
At this point, I think I wanted to be ready to go.
Yeah, I get that one's a little more reasonable, but this is something I think I might have talked to you about last time. I know I've talked to somebody. It's like, dude, you're rushing an Orchid, man. Nothing else in the game matters than getting this Orchid as soon as possible. Like, that's the only thing that matters. You know what really scares me, man? Is when the enemy storm in my game today had an 11-minute freaking Orchid and killed me with it, okay? That's what scares me. I don't care if the storm is, like, pushing my mid-tier 1. Like you were doing to this tower. It's like, I care that that storm has a freaking 11-minute Orchid and kills me with it. That's what I care about. So, it's just something where, like, you know, this Jug, he's going to go Battle Fury. And then he's going to go Manta. And it's like, however many minutes between your Orchid being finished and his Manta being finished, that's how many minutes you have to fuck this guy. Okay? And then every minute counts. That's what your mom said, at least. Okay. Moving on.
Worthy of a god's praise.
Middle tower is under attack.
Dude, you're just not gonna say anything?
What? Did you cut out? Did you say something?
Did you actually not hear me?
I think you cut out if you said something.
Dude, I actually can't tell if you're fucking with me right now.
No, I'm not. I'm being serious. What'd you say? Did you cut out again?
No. So I know my noise filter on Discord's pretty high because otherwise anyone I talk to hears my keyboard. And unlike my stream, I don't want people to hear my keyboard. Don't worry about it. I said that I care about the guy that's ganking me with an orchid, so you need to rush that orchid.
Okay, yeah, you kind of stopped talking for me there.
Yeah, it's
just watch
fine.
the VOD.
It's fine, dude. You don't have to watch it. Okay. Yes, we got our orchid running around the map. And we're dead. Not the end of the world, though. We killed their carry.
Yeah, I was like, alright, check up on my Wraith King, he's doing alright. I'm okay with what happened. Big stomp.
So what's your Wraith King gonna do in this game?
He's gonna hit tower.
Like, give me an exact description of like what his gameplay is gonna look like.
He's gonna be like running at them while we kind of use him as bait.
Okay.
Because like if they Omni or Mars ult him, the only thing that's bad is he gets sapped out of the incarnate.
So what's Wraith King not gonna do this game?
He's not gonna go clear waves away from us.
Okay. So what kind of game is this?
You want to buy bots?
Dude, of course! You're going fucking bots on Lesh when you have a troll that's hitting triangle, and you're going phase when you have a Wraith King that's running at people. Think about this, dude. The troll, he wants you to play up in their face. Running around in their face. Wraith King, he wants bottom lane cleaned up, and then you to be at any engagement he's at. That's what he wants. You see this?
Okay.
You see this
Yeah, I
fucking
see
game
it.
plan?
Makes sense. I just defaulted the phase.
I'm just saying, man. All I'm saying is you finish this Orchid. I'm not telling you after Orchid with a Wraith King that you're going to go bots. But, like, just look at what this guy's doing, man. He gets his Radiance. You're deciding on your next item. He's got his Radiance here. Now, let's see what this guy does. Wraith King with a Radiance. Damn, look at him go. Look at this fucking go. All you need to do is follow this guy. Or, like, be able to follow this guy. Like, notice how the job I told you needed to be done on you on Lesh? Why did you need to do it?
Because I was the only one that could.
Because, yeah, the troll wasn't going to do it. But, like, Wraith King, man, look at the way he's going to... Like, isn't this what you kind of wanted to do as Lesh? Like, you know, walk around...
he's tradding up.
Yeah, look at this shit. Look at this shit. Imagine if you were just, like, farming this down here. And you just botsed in. Right? So, obviously you didn't have bots yet, meaning, like, you didn't have the gold for it. But, like, that's what would clean up this game plan real fucking nicely.
Yeah, we don't have any split pusher.
Yeah. It's just funny that it just tells me you really don't understand bots, or you don't, like, understand the map as well as you need to. I just keep emphasizing there needs to be, like, a set group of people that do certain things. You know, like 1 or 2 heroes that do certain things. Sometimes certain heroes can't do it, and that usually means a draft problem. Okay? Like, sometimes you just have to itemize to do something your hero wasn't supposed to do. Okay? But, like, you know, Boots of Travel, Void Spirit, you feel fine doing that. You know? And you have an Orchid, and the reason why it's so nice on you this game is because, the only way they really kill you is Treant. So it's like the guy has to scout you, and then the rest of the team has to follow up. So if you went Boots of Travel here, what would your next item be, do you think?
Probably go Ags. Because I don't feel... Because like, there's not a whole ton of stuff to BKB in this game, and I have a Pudge who can save me and Avenge who can save me, so I don't feel incredibly in danger the entire game.
Okay, so my question. Here's my question. When you're doing your job in the game, in this game, I've laid it out. You know, you go the Orchid, you show up to fights, and then you go split and stuff. How are you going to ruin this game?
By feeding away
So
from
what
my
item
team.
do you buy?
A Dispel.
Just something that keeps you alive, man. You want to go
Lotus.
Kaya Sanj, you want to go BKB, you want to go fucking Yules, Lotus. I don't give a shit. Lotus would be amazing this game. I think Lotus is like
Lotus
the
and
perfect
the
fucking
Dove.
item in this game. All I'm saying is that if you understand your role in the game, you also understand how you fucking throw the game. It's like, if you're the initiator, if you're the do-shitter that's supposed to go in first, then yeah, you have to buy a damn Ags, otherwise your team ain't gonna do shit. You know what I mean? But you don't need an Ags this game. Like, first, you already have an Orchid, so you already have, like, one form of silence. But second, you have a guy that's going to go in first. You know, like, that's what Ags let you do.
Yeah.
Right? So, it's just a situation where the right itemization stems from understanding your role in the game. That's, like, all it is. So, it's like, dude, I don't care if you have an Ags if you're dying bottom to a Treant Root plus, you know, Rubik Lift or something. It's like, if you have Kaya Sanj, maybe you might still die. But you'd be way less likely to die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so it's kind of on you to decide, like, how greedy can I go with this? In this specific game, because Lotus is good against Tree, but it also is so good against Razor when you have a hero like Wraith King, I would go Lotus. Because it doesn't, like, grief your game, you know?
Not even for Jug?
Well, I guess it's okay against Jug, but I'm saying it's a good item against Jug, but specifically Wraith King against Razor, I would be more concerned about the Link than I am about the Omni Slash. And your hero doesn't die to Omni Slash either, so, like, yeah. You're right, but I'm more concerned about the Razor. But yeah, it's even better because of the Omni Slash. So yeah, it's just like, that's how pros build these, like, wonky fucking items every game, you know? It's like, oh, I need an item that helps me split. Oh, the guy that catches me is Treant. Okay, I need either an item like Kaya Sanj or an item that strictly removes that Treant ulti. Okay, I got Yules, I got BKB, I got Manta, I got Lotus. Okay? Or Satanic, technically. You know, some heroes could go Satanic. It's like, obviously, you're not going Satanic on Void Spirit, but just saying, like, you know, in general. Okay, I got those 4 items to choose from. Which one's best? You know? And then you go from there. But yeah. That's why when I look at people's items, and even in DPC, and I say, dude, what was his vision of this game? You know? I'm like, did he not understand his role was to, like, go in? Like, what? You know, and I'll just be like, why does he have a fucking Yules when he needs to go in first and, like, stun somebody or something?
Why does Invo have Midas?
Yeah, exactly, yeah, exactly. Okay. The thing about mid is you're at the most liberty to ruin other people's games. Like, man, if somebody's ruining my game with the way they're playing, it's always the mid laner, dude. It's like, it's sometimes the off laner. I'd say it's like 20% the supports. It's 20% the. I'm saying if somebody else is doing it. There's games that I ruin, okay? But I'm saying if somebody else is ruining my game, it's like 20% the supports, 20% the off laner, and like 60% the mid laner. Okay, it's like the distribution is like heavily on the mid laners. It's like right now you guys just finished Roche. I want my fucking Void Spirit to TP bottom and walk towards us. That's what I wanted to do, and I wanted to not feed while he's doing it. You know, like, and I wanted to do it bots so he can do it faster. You know, that's all I'm saying. Okay, so that's it for the coaching session. Do you have any questions, man?
How's Europe?
I gave you the weird dynamic. It's like, are you talking about Europe outside of Dota or in Dota?
Yeah, just how is it?
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. We're quarantined a bit, so mainly spend most of my days with all the other casters, but occasionally get to go on some walks, and yeah, it's okay. Like, having a good time.
That's good.
Yeah. Happy to be here, but just exhausted. You know, normal stuff. You know, just working myself
Just
like
sleep deprived.
Yeah, just like, no, I'm not actually sleep deprived. I told people. Like yesterday, my day was to go to work at 2 p.m. Yesterday was a pretty short day. Got back at like 8 p.m., 9 p.m., slept for like 2 hours, streamed for like 5 hours, and then I slept for 8 hours, and then I streamed for 12 hours now. That's
Sounds like Europe is pretty good to me.
I'm literally just streaming and sleeping, dude. So, you know, people think I'm sleep deprived. I'm not sleep deprived. I'm literally just overworked. But that's by choice. And just know that your coaching session, hour and a half, is what's putting me over the edge. So
Shit.
it
Oh,
is
no.
actually your fault. So just letting you
I
know.
apologize.
But okay, man. Thanks for signing up. Any actual questions? Or are you good?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you very
Best of luck, man. Stop sucking.
Yep.
See ya.
Thanks.
If you liked this video, please like, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel, all that shenanigans, because at the end of the day, YouTube does care about that. You may not care about it, I may not care about it, but the YouTube algorithm does. So please do.